They used to laugh at him every single day. A skinny, homeless teenager sitting in the corner of a public library, wearing the same hoodie for weeks, writing notes in a worn-out notebook like it meant something. Security once told him, "You can't stay here all day," a librarian whispered. "He's probably just killing time." And a group of college students joked as they walked past, "Bro thinks he's gonna be someone." No one knew. He wasn't just staying there. He was studying. And one day, he wouldn't just leave that library. He would own the building. His name was Ethan Carter, at least. That's what it said on the school records before everything fell apart. By the time he was 16, he had no home, no steady food, and no one waiting for him anywhere after school. Most people would have assumed that was the end of his story. But Ethan made a different decision. Every morning, he would walk into the same public library in downtown Seattle, not for warmth, not for shelter, but for Wi-Fi and knowledge. He discovered something most people ignore. The library was a gold mine. Free code in books, free computers, free internet, free access to almost everything rich kids were paying thousands for, while others saw a homeless kid taking up space. Ethan saw opportunity, so he started with what he had: a broken second-hand notebook and a public computer that rebooted every 30 minutes. He taught himself programming. Python first, then JavaScript, then anything he could get his hands on. And every night when the library closed, he didn't go home because he didn't have one. Instead, he slept behind buildings, sometimes on buses, sometimes just walking until sunrise. Then he'd return the next morning like nothing happened, day after day, month after month, until something changed. A librarian named Mrs. Collins noticed him. At first, she thought he was just avoiding school, but then she saw something unusual. He wasn't just watching videos or browsing. He was building things. Small websites, simple apps, lines of code that actually worked. One day she asked him, "Who's teaching you all this?" Ethan didn't look up. "I am." That was it. No drama, no emotion, just truth. And something about that answer stayed with her. So instead of kicking him out, she started helping him. She recommended books, showed him free online courses, even let him stay a little after closing when she could. For the first time in years, someone saw him as more than invisible.
At 17, Ethan built his first real project. A simple app that helped students organize study schedules and resources in one place. Nothing fancy, but it worked. He called it Focus Flow. He uploaded it online, expecting nothing. But something unexpected happened. A small startup blog wrote about it, then another, then a tech YouTuber reviewed it. Within 2 weeks, thousands of students were using it. Within 2 months, it hit 100,000 users. And Ethan? He didn't even have a laptop of his own yet. He was still using library computers, still sleeping wherever he could. But now, people were noticing. Investors started emailing him. Startups offered internships. Some didn't even believe he was real. At 18, Ethan finally got his first break. A small angel investor gave him $50,000. Not because he had a degree, not because he had connections, but because he had proof. He moved into a cheap studio apartment. First time in years. A real bed, a real desk, a real computer. And he didn't waste a second. He improved focus flow, added AI scheduling, expanded into productivity tools, then collaboration systems for students. The user base exploded. 100,000 became 1 million, then 5 million. Then universities started adopting it officially. By 21, Ethan's company was valued at over $200 million. But what shocked people most wasn't the money. It was his story, because the tech world loves success stories, but it rarely expects them to start on a library floor. 5 years after he first stepped into that library as a homeless teen, Ethan returned. Same building, same entrance, same quiet hum of computers. But this time, something was different. He wasn't there to study. He was there to speak. The library had been struggling with funding cuts, and ironically, the building that once gave him everything was now at risk of closing. So Ethan made an announcement. He had bought the entire building, not to change it, not to turn it into offices, but to restore it. He funded renovations, expanded free tech programs, created scholarships for homeless youth, and installed a plaque near the entrance. It read, "Anyone can start here, even those who have nothing." Reporters showed up, people cried. The same librarian, Mrs. Collins, stood there in disbelief. She said, "I told you he was special." Ethan just smiled and replied, "No, you just gave me a place to start."